Before I start, I would like to personally thank our Menominee Falls Fire Department, Battalion Chief Biedenbender, and look at this great organization here. Give them a round of applause. They couldn't present a more symbolic symbol for today than that flag. So, my name is Tom Branta. I'm thrilled, honored to be the commander of the American Legion post, Menominee Falls, post 382, right down the street here. We've been there for 92 years, so if you haven't been in our post, please visit us. I would like to thank everyone again for being here today, and especially the Gold Star families. Where are my Gold Star families? Okay, raise your hands. Thank you so much. And there's 34 men that have given their life for our country, and I just want to do this before we do anything else. Nope. We have a board over here with all the names of the 34 gentlemen that have given their life for our country. Thank you. Today is, again, a very special day as we honor those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Freedom is so much more than just a word. You should never, ever take it for granted. Freedom of speech, religion, the press, the right to assemble, and the right to petition. We have these freedoms because countless men and women gave their lives to protect these freedoms. And as I mentioned, we have 34 Gold Star members and Gold Star families, and just a special thank you and remembrance to the families, because we've lost 34 men, but their families have lost brothers, uncle, sons. So again, I want to make sure. I'm going to hold it for you. I want to make sure that we honor the families too, because they are so important to us. The greatest honor we can pay is never ever forget them. Let's really get what I got here. Okay, that's all I got there. So again, I want to thank you all for coming. Apologize, our microphone was supposed to be mounted, and I'm terrible with a hand mic, but I'll do the best I can. So I'd like Wally Kangas to come forward. Wally's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you all stand if you could? And place your hand on your heart, or veterans, please hand salute.
Present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order arms.
Thank you, Wally. Please be seated. We are really honored today again to have the Menominee Falls Symphony Orchestra Brass Quintet here, and they are going to honor us right now with the national anthem. Janet Hinkle is going to give us her rendition of honoring a veteran.
Hello, everyone. My name is Janet Hickle. My father, Robert Meyer, was the designer and one of the builders of the Menomonee Falls World War II monument that we stand in front of today. It was hand-built by the World War II veterans of the Walter Miller AMVETS post in 1947 after they returned home. I've had the honor of working with the veterans of Menomonee Falls since 2006 in order to preserve the monument. I would also like to note that this is our 12th annual memorial tribute ceremony at these monuments. There have been many ceremonies that have occurred at the World War II monument several years ago, so I truly appreciate all of the veterans' support to start this tradition back up at the monuments 12 years ago. I also want to thank all of you for coming today and honoring our Menomonee Falls fallen soldiers. We truly appreciate your presence. The original builders of the monument are smiling down on us today. I'm already starting to get choked up. For continuing what they started back in 1947 with building the monument and honoring the fallen from our village. Through planning this ceremony, I have also had the sincere honor to meet many of the Gold Star family members over the years. I would like to recognize any members of the Gold Star families who are present today. Their loved ones made the ultimate sacrifice and service to our country. We know that you have felt the largest burden of this loss, and our hearts go out to you in recognition of your sacrifice as well. The stories of our Gold Star soldiers are varied and tragic. Their willingness to sacrifice their own future and well-being in order to protect us and our country should never be forgotten. It is our custom each Memorial Day to focus on the life and sacrifice of one individual from our area. Today, I will be speaking about Terrence Sund of Menomonee Falls. I would like to thank Terry's sister, Sue Ward, for providing Terry's story. Terrence Sund was born on March 1st, 1947 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He was the oldest of 3 children born to Byron and Magdalene Sund. His siblings were Suzanne and Ronald. Terry's father, Byron, was a metal fabricator at Stolper Steel in Menomonee Falls until he started his own business in Lannon. The family lived in 2 different houses on Sunset Ridge Drive, just a few blocks from this park. Byron built both of them. Terry attended the Lincoln School, which was located just north of here. He then attended Menomonee Falls High School, which is now the middle school, right across the street from where we are now. He was a very good student and got excellent grades. He loved art and math. He was in the school band and played the drums. Terry loved to play tennis and golf. He was a caddy and played at North Hills Country Club. According to Terry's sister Sue, he was a really positive person. He laughed a lot, loved to play practical jokes, and had lots of friends. Terry's glass was never half empty or half full. It was always completely full. Terry loved going on family vacations. He especially loved his Corsair convertible, fishing, and his friends. Terry graduated from Menomonee Falls High School in May 1965. He attended the University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee, where he was on the dean's list, and I just asked Sue this morning, he was studying business administration. He took a break from school in 1967 in order to earn money for tuition. It was during this time that he received his draft notice. Terry completed his basic training in Fort Bliss, Texas, and Camp Pendleton, California, and then was shipped overseas on July 5th, 1967. Terry began his tour of duty at the rank of Specialist 4th Class in B Company, 1st Battalion, 12th Infantry Regiment, 4th Infantry Division in Con Tum Province in South Vietnam. He was the machine gunner of his group and wrote in a letter home that he was the only guy that could carry all of the heavy equipment, and that's how he got that job. If you look at the military picture of Terry in your program, you will see the faint word Wisconsin written across his helmet. Although many Vietnam veterans wrote various things on their helmets, it was clear that he was proud to be from Wisconsin, and he wanted everyone to know where he was from. I'll bet he also wrote Wisconsin on his helmet just in case he ran into someone else who was from his home state. I'm sure an opportunity to talk to someone from home was an opportunity he didn't want to miss. On December 5th, 1967, the Sund family was informed that Terry was missing in action. This is a quote from Sue. "My mother continued to hold out hope that he was still alive. On Christmas Eve, we were officially notified that Terry had been killed in action. It was the worst day of my life, and I can say with certainty it was the absolute worst of my day of my mom's life. She never recovered and was never the mom I had known ever again." His family would later discover that Terry had actually died on December 6th, but he was listed as missing in action because his body could not immediately be located. Terry was 20 years old. A friend that served with Terry in Vietnam later visited the family and shared what happened to him. He explained that the Viet Cong had tunnels beneath some of the American Army bases and installations. A bomb was identified in one of the tunnels, and a soldier needed to go into the tunnel to detonate it. Terry volunteered. He was overcome by gas fumes and could not be rescued before he was asphyxiated. According to Sue, it didn't surprise her one bit that Terry would have been the one to volunteer for the task. For his service to his country, Terrence Sund was posthumously awarded the Purple Heart and the Bronze Star medals. A funeral was held at the funeral home in Menomonee Falls, and his ashes were placed at Wisconsin Memorial Park in Milwaukee. The loss of Terry devastated this Gold Star family. Both Terry's dad and brother Ron, veterans of the Army and Air Force, respectively, committed suicide in the wake of the loss. Profound loss. Terry's mom lost her enjoyment for life, and nothing ever filled the hole in her heart after she lost Terry. She died in 1992. Sue, while grief-stricken in the loss of Terry and subsequently her remaining family, shared Terry's positivity and chose to turn her grief to healing, becoming a registered nurse. Sue also chose to remember her family members in quiet places where they had shared happy times together and did not visit the cemetery where the ashes of her family had been placed. Many years later, Sue learned of a website honoring veterans of the Vietnam War, the Wall of Faces. On that site was a place to leave a memorial. On February 18th, 2015, Sue left a note of remembrance for her brother Terry. In the note, she left her email address, a serendipitous move that would transform the course of her family's tragic story. Later that year, Steve Canto, a veteran volunteer and American Legion state historian, contacted Sue after seeing her post on the Wall of Faces site. Steve informed her that the ashes of Terry and her mom and dad were unclaimed and in a virtual potter's field at Wisconsin Memorial Park. He said Terry had never received a proper military burial. Her family's ashes were locked in a damp basement closet on a shelf where the urns were rusting due to the dampness. Sue was stunned, and for a moment, though, thought he probably had contacted her in error. She had no idea how or why the remains of her family were handled so carelessly. Steve, with the help of the American Legion in Wisconsin and other veterans, raised funds to move the cremated remains of Terry and his mom to the Field of Honor Veterans section of Wisconsin Memorial Park. The ceremony was held on August 8th, 2015, with full military honors for Terry and a proper burial for his mom. Terry's dad also received a military funeral and burial and was placed at Southern Wisconsin Veterans Memorial Cemetery in Union Grove, Wisconsin. After nearly 50 years, the Sund family members found their final resting place. Resulting from all of this, the Terrence Sund Memorial Fund was started by Steve Canto with a mission to identify unclaimed cremated remains of Wisconsin soldiers and ensure these veterans are not forgotten and are given the proper military burial they deserve. The fund that benefits the service members killed in action is solely operated through donations and has received tremendous support from the American Legion and the Elks Lodges across Wisconsin. Sue stated, "We are now paying it forward to those who served us so well and who need and deserve our help, support, and recognition at the end of their lives." With us at today's ceremony, we are honored to have Terry's sisters Sue Ward, Pat and Pam Moran from the Wisconsin Elks Lodges, as well as Steve Conto, founder of the Terrence Sund Memorial Fund. Just to note, Pat Moran has been the Wisconsin Elks state president for the past year and has devoted much of his time in this position, ensuring that veterans have a dignified burial. Pat is from Menominee Falls and was Terry's brother Ron's best friend. If any of you are in attendance or are interested in learning more about the Terrence Sund Memorial Fund, you can contact the American Legion headquarters in Portage. It's an opportunity to continue Terry's profound legacy of service and sacrifice. I have included the information in your printed program. I also wanted to add that Pat Moran from the Wisconsin Elks Lodges brought some American flag lapel pins that we will have at the table up front here, right here, that we will have, that you're able to take to remember this special day of remembrance and potentially consider visiting that website. Sue, Pat, and Pam, and Steve, would you please stand so that we may recognize you, your sacrifice, and the dedication to honor our hero, Terrence Sund. Very special people there. Thank you all, and especially Sue, for helping us tell Terry's story so that his life, sacrifice, and will not be forgotten. I will close today with words from Terry's sister, Sue. She's an amazing person. I would really like to emphasize the positive outcomes that came from all the tragedy. Out of the ashes has come incredible good. Terry was a really positive person who deserves to be remembered for his creative, outgoing, caring self, as well as his courage. He was a great son, an awesome brother, and a loyal friend to many. Terry's death was a tragedy that affected every one of us so deeply that the family broke. My dad, my brother Ron, and my mom just couldn't accept the loss. The cracks in the fabric of our family just continued to widen. Terry was so important to our family in a way that is hard to explain or capture in words. I don't think he ever realized his impact on the people in his lives. I think Terry would have been blown away by the love so many have expressed for him. The message today should be one of pride and hope for the good that came and will continue to come, even after nearly 60 years. As I have said in the past, the profound loss endured by the families of service men and women lost in combat is something we should never, ever forget. Thank you. We will now move forward in our program and ask the Menominee Falls Symphony Orchestra Quintet to provide a reflective song, "Going Home." Beautiful. Thank you very much. We will now be completing the laying of the wreaths. The music is the Navy hymn provided by the Menominee Falls Symphony Orchestra Quintet. Following the laying of the wreaths, we would ask any Gold Star family members to come forward to place a flower in the vase at the monument. I also have some extra flowers for any Gold Star family members that I didn't touch base with at the beginning of the ceremony. I would now ask the Gold Star family members to come up to place a flower in the vase in honor of their loved one. Thank you. I now ask that Mike Wilson and Jeff Page come forward to present the Gold Star list for Menominee Falls, our community heroes.
World War I, Albert A. Duell. Paul J. Kupal. Fred C. Henrizi. Leon E. Schuster. World War II, Walter J. Miller. Donald J. Buke. Julius F. Sierra. Robert Dooley. Gerald H. Hepner, Earl Cannonberg, William H. Munkel, Charles R. Olson, David B. Rice, Elmer W. Stutingen, Wilbur Array, John M. Butina, Wesley R. Cox, Jr., Herbert J. Henrick, Lawrence Janzer, Chester Kryevlin, Raymond Mudlitz, Richard Piters, Willard Schneider, Harvey Zimdars, Korea, Thomas Schultz, Vietnam, Michael James Kelly, Michael Ed Lex, Raymond Charles Jatner, Michael Mellon, Terrence Lee Sund, Eric Rudolph Radke, John Albert Gross, Thomas J. Meenan, Iraq, Todd Ryan Cornell, and 2 special war dogs, Skip and Flo.
Thank you. Prior to the War Dog Group moving their dogs to a safe area for the 3 volley salute, I would like to briefly complete the War Dog Service report at this time versus toward the end of the ceremony and review all of the wonderful services that this organization provides to veterans. In speaking to Carol Singer, one of the founders of the War Dogs Milwaukee Group, she told me that some of the new things they are doing over the past 4 years is responding to VA requests for veterans' needs related to their dogs. The War Dogs of Milwaukee are often paying for the boarding of a veteran's dog while the veterans are going through medical treatment. Once the veteran can hopefully get back to their independent living situation, the veteran's dog will be returned to them. The War Dog Group also pays for and delivers dog food for needy veterans' pets, as well as helps with veterinarian bills for the veteran's dog. Often a veteran's dog is their best friend and only family, so the War Dogs has committed their current mission to help veterans in any way that they can. Carol has also gone on to say that some of the veterans they are notified about from the VA are homeless. So the organization does what they can to try to help the veterans keep their beloved dog while in their situation. And you heard Skip mention that was Jerry Witt's dog in service, and Flo, who was one of the War Dogs that recently passed away, belonged to Cody. I also wanted to note that the Elks Club has provided support to the War Dogs in providing a grant in order to help them with this wonderful service. I've included the website and phone number for the War Dogs of Milwaukee organization so that you can learn more about this great organization. I would now ask that we allow for a brief pause as we have the War Dogs and any children that might need to move to a safe area as needed for the 3 volley salute to occur. So they'll be moving to their cars. While we are pausing during this transition, I'd like to also thank the members of the Menominee Falls Symphony Orchestra for donating their time and talents to today's Veterans Memorial Tribute ceremony. Please also take note of the Symphony's orchestra contact information and the schedule in your insert today. Thank you again to these fantastic musicians for adding so much to our ceremony today. I would also like to thank Rebecca Schick for assisting in putting together and donating the printed programs for today's program. Thank you so much, Becky. Where are you? Just wave. Way back, she was handing them out. Thank you, Becky. Huge help. Thank you. Also, many thanks to my brother John and sister-in-law Judy for assisting in writing Terry's profile and courage. The village of Menominee Falls is very much appreciated as well today as they maintain the monument year after year and assure that it looks great today and throughout the year. And finally, many thanks to Danny Shepard, First Vice Commander of the American Legion Post 382, for working out the logistics every year. He was unable to be here today. Jimmy Dieter came earlier and helped set up our sound, and I want to also thank Falls Cable. Please support this wonderful local channel. They were very helpful this morning as we were working through the sound logistics, and they always are here every year filming. So I really want to thank them. Yes. And then many thanks to Thomas Branta, next to me, Commander of the American Legion Post 382, for his continual support of this ceremony. I'd also just quickly like to ask any of you in attendance, if you know of any of the Gold Star soldiers that are on our list or family members, please reach out to me. I believe my information's in the program. I'm always looking to make connections with the Gold Star families, and it's evolved over the years. Very rewarding, and we really want to connect with them sooner versus later as time goes on. So, and then we also, after this service, we pass the history that was written onto the historical societies so they can add it to their information so that their stories can be carried on forever. So please let me know if you know of any Gold Star soldiers, family members. We will now move on to the three-volley salute, echo taps, and closing remarks from Commander Tom.
You may be seated. Actually, I'd like to thank our two distinguished guests that I can see anyways, Mr. Fitzgerald, Mr. Canato out in the audience there. Thank you very much for attending today. Today is a day that we remember, obviously, our fallen vets, but I would like every veteran here to either stand or raise their hand if you can't stand. And I'd like the audience here to recognize these men and women who have served their country. Thank you. On Monday, Memorial Day, please take a moment to reflect on the bravery and dedication of our fallen heroes. This sacrifice should never, ever be forgotten. Thank you all for sharing this special, special day with us, and please have a safe trip home and a memorable Memorial Day. Thank you.